Hi! This time I'm going to talk about something that I thought about when I was communicating via email with one of my friends. He's a pretty good RPG designer. I would say that he's also quite skilled when it comes to the technical side of writing in tabletop RPGs. One of the better writers out there, in my opinion. I am not going to mention his name because obviously when you exchange emails with someone, it's like a private thing. But there were some things that he mentioned that made me think of something a bit disturbing, highly disingenuous, some erroneous information given to him. And this has to do with the distortion of role playing on the part of non-role players in tabletop role-playing games. One would think, why are they in this hobby if they don't roleplay? Why are they posing as role players if they don't roleplay in tabletop role playing games? The distortion lies in this. I was talking with my friend, and it seems that he had not yet made a distinction between storytelling and roleplay. If you haven't seen my videos where I talk about the differences, there are a couple of videos. I'm going to put them in the description. Like I said, when it comes to roleplay, you are not telling stories about your characters. You are your characters. You are playing the role of your characters. You are describing your actions. You are talking as your characters would. Or if you are going to use some shortcuts, for example, maybe you have received a lot of information and you want to convey this information to a non-player character or to a member of the party. You could say something like, I approach Billy and tell him what the Oracle has mentioned. You could also be quite specific. I tell him what the Oracle has mentioned except this part, But like I said, there is a clear distinction. It is not the same thing. Role-playing is not acting. Acting can be part of role-playing. You can act as your character within the roleplay. As you are describing the actions of your character, you can act. Role-playing is not LARPing. The people LARPing, they dress up as their characters. They are not sitting at the table. They are acting, speaking. They are pretty much closer to actors, but yet they are actually quite immersed as well. But when it comes to tabletop RPGs, you are sitting at a table, tabletop RPGs, sitting at a table, describing your character's actions because unlike LARPing, you are not going to be getting into forests and moving into houses and castles and whatnot that have been previously secured for the LARP activity. When people create that sort of distortion, that real disinformation, they are showcasing their evil intent, their lack of ingenuity, and their ignorance. They are displaying the worst of the worst when it comes to them. Those are not quality people, they are bad people. So in the case of my friend, I showed him the 3 videos, my beginner's guide to roleplay, the 2 videos where I talk about the differences between storytelling and roleplay, and he understood that it is being communicated in his community, so to speak, or the places that he frequents, supposedly related to tabletop role-playing games. They are saying that roleplay is called full bleed. They are referring to it as a style known as full bleed. So now you can see the disingenuous, the deception carried by these non-role players, doing whatever it is in their power to keep people away from roleplay, trying to lead them astray. Why do they do this? They also tell people, if you go full bleed, if you are in character all the time, you're going to wear yourself out. It's going to be too tiresome. It's going to be too tiring. As always, they choose to ignore evidence. Please take a look at my actual plays of the Super Smash Bros. Campaign, of the Dark and Terrible campaign. You'll find the links in the description of this video. Tell me the exact moment where Alberto, Ryan, Tyler, Crispy, Josh, or maybe myself, tell us the moment where we are about to pass out because of the exhaustion. We are so tired of being in character that we are about to collapse. We are going to faint. Oof! Tell me, where is that moment where exhaustion is so great? It takes such a great toll on us because we are in character all the time that we are about to pass out. You won't find it because it is complete bullshit. This is the sort of disinformation carried out by non-role players in the tabletop RPG hobby, because as I have mentioned in other videos, the only reason why they try to invade this hobby is because they have nothing better to do. And judging on their poor social skills, they are not accepted in any other hobby. So they use the tabletop RPG hobby as a sort of trash can or trash bin to land their trash in, their trashy selves in. Why do they do this? Because they don't want to expose their lack of roleplay, their lack of interest and ability when it comes to roleplay. And in the case of those content creators, that have who knows how many thousands of subscribers, usually they rely on Dungeons and Dragons and the more popular RPGs at the moment, because make no mistake that if something were to happen to Dungeons and Dragons and it became stigmatized or unpopular, they would abandon it altogether. They would abandon it, discard it, and move to the next popular thing. When Dungeons and Dragons wasn't so popular, there were so many Pathfinder 1st edition YouTubers. And then Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition came out and the propaganda machine got it going. There you go, Pathfinder 1st edition, good luck, into the trash you go. And now we are going to focus on Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. For them, it is just a business. There is nothing wrong with carrying out business within the hobby, but be honest about it. That's it. These people do not roleplay. They do not understand anything about roleplay. They have no business whatsoever in the tabletop role-playing game hobby because they do not roleplay. They do not talk about roleplaying. So that's why they need to create this distortion. It's not roleplay, it's full bleed. It's not roleplay, it's storytelling. Story manifesting. Story communicating. It is a conversation. It is LARPing. It is acting. Blah, 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 blah. Because they want to detach themselves from roleplay because they cannot roleplay. If they manage to fool people into thinking that roleplay is not roleplay, then they are scot-free to do whatever they want when it comes to distorting the hobby. Otherwise, they would lose all of their subscribers. They would be like, why am I watching a channel about tabletop role-playing games when they don't understand anything about roleplay? About role-playing. It would be nonsensical, right? So they need to keep up that illusion, their poser selves, to trick people. So yes, it is quite disingenuous. I hope more people will become aware of this. Of the actual role-playing. This is not full bleed. This is not storytelling. This is not acting. This is not LARPing. Roleplay is roleplay is roleplay. If you don't know what role-playing is, please check out my beginner's guide to roleplay. The original Dave Arneson idea. Not the Gygaxian board game Mother May I pathology. Like I have said in many other videos, you will also find my videos where I demystify Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson. Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson had their flaws and their qualities. Dave Arneson, he came up with the entire role-playing game concept. And Gary Gygax, he never understood it, but he wanted to sell things immediately. His family situation was quite precarious, so he looked at it as a great business opportunity. He actually decided to risk it all in that venture, and it paid off. But he communicated the system as a sort of board game, Mother May I, what do you do, etc. And this is also the responsibility of role players. That is, as a role player, you have a responsibility to keep this craft alive. Every time you ask out of character questions, and you keep on doing it, every time you allow those out of character questions and you answer those out of character questions, you are demeaning yourself. That is beneath you, that is below you, because I would hope that you are an intelligent person that wants to achieve greatness, excellence, and perfection in a hobby where role-playing is being distorted into so many other things: acting, conversation, LARPing, full bleed. Who knows how many other terms they are going to come up with in order to distort roleplay. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments about anything, please let me know. Oh, and remember that I am currently running, well, it's an interest gauge video about my horror one-shot that I'm going to be running in about 3 weeks. We have 4 spots remaining. I want to see if we can get 5 players. Please check out the video to that. It will be in the description of this video. As always, thank you, and thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. And remember, it is better to roleplay and fail in character than not to roleplay and fail as a player. Once again, thank you, and see you later.